Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Carla. Tonight we're going to be doing a very special card using a little bit of physics and a lot of fun. And this is called my Cat Glow Eyes card tutorial. And as you can see, when you press a certain place on the card, its eyes glow. So we are going to go through that tonight. The first thing you will need will be a piece of black cardstock. I cut my own. This is just an A2 size, 4.25 inches by 5.5 inches, or you can buy pre-made cards. Dollar General has a lot of great ones. Now the pages that I'm showing you right now are from two different collections of mine that are original. Sorry about the fuzziness, it'll clear out in a second. That one right there is from the A2 Card Faces kit on my Etsy channel, and this is from the Terminal Halloween 8.5 by 11 kit. So you can, they were kind of designed to go together, so you can download both of them. This lantern is going to be the next card tutorial that we're going to do in about a week or so. I love that one. But this one will be from a set that I have yet to publish on Etsy called Curated Halloween Backgrounds. I realized that I had a lot of old papers that I had already uploaded that weren't getting views anymore, so I'm picking my favorite ones out of those and putting them in a curated collection. This one I thought would be cute. You could put the glow eyes behind the pumpkins, but anyway, right now, because I have an inkjet printer, when you choose the A2 size, it doesn't necessarily print all the way to the edge. It doesn't bleed to the edge. So I found these wonderful dies on Amazon, and I'm picking the second largest one. The largest one is a perfect A2 size, but I want this one to have a little bit of that black border around it. So in another video we will talk about the die cut machine for those of you who are beginners. And I use washi tape because it's low tack. But see, once you get the card face, and that's why I designed this card face collection for beginners. Sometimes you're intimidated by that, and I didn't want that. This is the set of lights. The LED, light emitting diode, is what that stands for. And we're using two, one for each eye. So you need to cut right before the third one. Don't worry, it won't break the circuit, it won't ruin anything, the world isn't going to explode. This is the set that I got. I've also got a set in blue for Christmas. They are amazing, but they come in all different colors. I found them on Amazon, so I will link them below. You also need a CR2032 battery, just like the one that you see on the table. And what you have to do here, the reason this works is because these, this fairy string is what it's technically called, has an insulation on the wires. So you can use a metal nail file. I'm using just a plain emery board, 100 and 180 grit are both sides. Now, each side of the battery has a positive and a negative end, just like a regular magnet dipole. You have to determine which end of the light hits the positive and which one goes to the negative so that it lights up. So once you've found that, you know, lay it down, keep it straight so you can remember it. Okay? Now this is the tricky part coming up, because what we have to do is position those lights behind the eyes of the cat. Now I only printed this image on, I think, 28-pound paper. It's got a smooth surface so that it takes the color well. But while I was doing the prototype for this, I realized that I could just lay it out on the front of the card without having to hold it up to the light to determine where the placement would go the best. So that's what I'm doing here. And let me tell you, I had a lot of trouble. I cut a lot of this video out because it was going to be useless to you, because with the way this goes together, unfortunately, there's a lot of trial and error, which you see me doing right now. So, once again, these wires are not pure copper wires. There are some famous companies that have kits that go together. The diodes look a little differently, but you need to use fabric conducting tape in order to protect them. You don't have to do that on these. Just buy any string of fairy lights that have LEDs on them, and they already come equipped with the needed insulation. That's why no one's getting electrocuted. And you can't really ruin yourself with a 3-volt battery anyway, which is what this one is. So I've sped that up so it wouldn't bore you, but on this end, I'm making sure that it stays just a little bit above the battery. And I will explain why in a second. You don't want, or at least I didn't, it's going to drain your battery if that wire makes full connection all day, all the time. And you don't want that. You want your card recipient to interact with it. Now, what you just saw there was I was having a little bit of shortage issues. Sometimes if you don't get all of the insulation off well enough, then when you press on it on the front, it's going to short out a little bit. So make extra sure that you have all of that insulation filed off, or else you're going to have blinking lights. Now, I've seen those on purpose and they're kind of cool, and for a Halloween spooky card, sure, but you don't want it to be that way all the time. Here I'm using some washi tape to tack down where I wanted the battery to go. I've got the negative underneath the wire, the negative wire under the battery, and then the positive one that touches the top of the battery, which is the positive terminal. That's the one I'm not pressing down right away, because when your recipient presses on a specific area on the front of the card, then that's going to make the connection and complete the circuit. These are really easy lights to work with because they're wired in a series, just one simple circle. Okay, I've sped up the next part because you don't need to see me gluing down, but if you have foam tape, these are little dimensional foam squares that I got from a Dollar General haul. I couldn't believe that I found so many cool supplies there, but I did. But because of the dimension of the battery and the wires and the tape, you do need a little bit of dimension, or else, like I said, that light is going to stay on. But see, now you see how it works. And it's working correctly. You don't want those lights on until someone puts applied pressure on a specific part of the kitty. Now I've taken off all the glue at this point, or all of the backing on the tape, and I'm trying to get it centered. I just thought that cat was the most adorable, since I'm a cat person too. You could even put lights behind the pumpkins if you want it extra special. And now I'm going to turn off the lights so you can really see it. But you just got to wiggle back in there to get the placement right, exactly where you want it. Light up his nose too. I mean, do whatever you want. So I decided, now what I did here was I felt around for the best connection several times to find out, okay, if I press it here repeatedly, this is going to make the strongest connection. And I drew a paw print there with my little Sharpie. You can put a pumpkin sticker there, or a ghost sticker, or even a little jewel, and draw 2 lines up to make him look like he's wearing a collar. Just something to tell your card recipient, okay, this is where you can press to make the connection and make the circuit complete. And there you go. This was such a fun card to do. I told you in a couple of other videos, I am a frustrated Victorian, and Victorians loved miniatures. They had the most elaborate doll houses, and so I sometimes watch some of those miniature videos. I plan to do some dioramas for Halloween and then for Christmas to sell at craft fairs, but they're all going to be with the LEDs. So this is the finished card. And this is the finished one with the light. And I thought the orange was the perfect color to shine through those yellow eyes. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much.